Welcome to a couple of bunkies. About a week ago, my wife asked a very important question.
Will you please build a desk for me?
She asked very politely, and I just got to work right away. I created a CAD drawing of the desk and made a cut list.
Currently, we have an IKEA desk up in our loft office.
We did a video on the flooring and the T-tracks. Check in the upper right-hand corner.
In order to replace that, Tim decided to make two desks. Tim selected a few cherry boards for this project and cut them into about 4-foot sections. These 4-foot sections will be used for the tabletops.
I take all of the boards through the thickness planer. So altogether, I had to plane 2 foot by 8 foot worth of material just for the tabletops. I ended up getting a bunch of rough sawn cherry lumber from my hometown in Ohio. I really enjoy working with cherry. It's easy to machine, it holds a nail, it glues well, and it has a reddish brown and pinkish tint.
Do you know what's also red?
No, what?
That subscribe button. Please hit that subscribe button and turn it into gray.
Don't forget to give us a thumbs up with the like button.
We try to release a video every Thursday evening. Don't forget to ring that bell icon so you get notified.
First, I take off the rough sawn material. This helps to put a straight edge on the board. I can then flip the board around and take off just a hair off of the other side, and then repeat the process. With this process, I'm capable of joining two boards together. I ended up planing and straightening an extra board just in case some of the boards wouldn't come out right.
Then Tim sets up a couple of sawhorses and lays down the boards that need to be joined. He's trying to decide which boards go together well.
Then I set down a very straight laminate tabletop as a work surface. When setting the edges of the boards against the flat surface, I saw that there was some gap, so I went ahead and took them back over to the table saw to straighten them up even further. When joining boards together, it is extremely important to have two flat surfaces in order to join the two pieces together.
Tim decided to use the biscuit joining method to attach these boards together. Biscuit joining not only helps you align the boards but also provides strength in the joints. Well, maybe it doesn't provide that much strength, but it definitely provides more surface area for the glue up.
I knew that one or two of the boards were a little questionable because they had a little bit of a twist in them. I'm glad I cut an extra board early on so I could replace them. So in this glue up, I spread the glue along the edge of the board, making sure to fill in the pockets where the biscuits go into. Put the biscuits in, go to the other board, apply a little bit of glue to the pockets on the other board, and squeeze the two boards together.
Now Tim repeated the process for all the other boards.
Once the tabletop was all glued together, I held the boards firmly with clamps. I also sandwiched two boards on either end. This helps keep the tabletop straight while the glue sets. I ended up making a hasty decision and decided to cut the tabletop in half after it dried. I did this to save me on work. Instead of having to go over the tabletop by hand, I can simply throw it into my 12-inch planer. I start working on the second tabletop, going through the same process as I did before. However, I keep the boards to 12 inches in width, using the biscuit joiner on the same areas on both boards that I'm joining. Applying glue to the areas that I want, and gluing both boards together. Clamping the glue up together Sandwiching the boards with straight boards so they stay straight. Moving the project out so I can go ahead and work on the next part. And repeat the process. It looks like the wide-angle lens on my camera is really making the boards look bowed and not straight, but I ensure you that these boards are perfectly straight. After I clamp the boards and set it aside to dry, I take out some more rough sawn lumber and start making cuts. I'm going to be using this lumber to make the frame for the desk. After I get the boards cut to the sizes that I need, I run them through the planer. When I cut the lumber before running them through the planer, I cut them a little over the length that I needed from the cut list that I had made earlier. This is so if I end up getting some chip out from the planer, I will have some room on the board that I can adjust it later. The longest boards that I'm going to be working with is 42 inches. For 2 of the tables, I'm going to need 6 of these. We need 10 18-inch boards and 2 14-inch boards. At this time, the glue had dried on the tabletops, and I can just push them through the thickness planer. I'm really wishing that I had thought of this earlier so that I wouldn't have went through the process of gluing the entire table together and then cutting it in half. Overall, I'd much rather use heavy machinery in order to do a lot of the hard work than me break my back over it. Now it looks like I'm cutting the 42-inch boards into 3-inch intervals. So I should need 4 of those altogether. Now I cut the 18-inch boards into 3-inch intervals. It looks like I'm cutting the 14-inch boards. Now it looks like I'm remeasuring and making some adjustments with the table saw. I'm cutting the 42-inch boards into 1-inch intervals. I should only need 2 of those. For these desks, I had to prepare 8 1.5 by 1.5 boards for the legs. So I can cut the boards into 1.5 inches, and now I'm going to have to prepare more lumber for the legs. But that will have to wait until the next video. In the next video, I will be turning these beautiful legs. Remember to subscribe and ring the bell icon to see how I do this.